How you doing? I'm Issa. Let's today talk about expectations. Let's say you ask your friend Jimmy to pick you up from work at 3 p.m. Should you have an expectation for Jimmy to pick you up at 3 p.m.? I say no. You should not have an expectation for Jimmy to pick you up. It would be nice if Jimmy kept his word and picked you up, but not necessary that you have an expectation for him to pick you up. And here's why. If Jimmy does not pick you up, you're going to be extra mad at Jimmy. Why? Because you expected him to do what he said he was going to do. That is what we call an unfair expectation. How do we know the expectation is unfair? Because the person failed to meet your expectations. So obviously it was an unfair expectation. The only expectation that is fair is an expectation that's met. Let's say you're sitting at a table and somebody reaches over your food and you get really angry. Why? Because they should know better. Because that's disrespectful. But that you putting expectations on them. You expect them to know better. Maybe in their house they reach over each other's plates. Maybe they bust ass in front of each other while each other's eating and so on and so forth. You know what I'm talking about? So that's an unfair expectation for you to have. You could be a little perturbed that they reached over your plate, the fact that they did that, but the expectation is unnecessary. As far as you being angry about that expectation, that's an unnecessary anger. You don't need that. And how does that pertain to the disease of addiction? A lot of times we put expectations on people that are unfair, and then when they don't reach those expectations, we get pissed off unduly. And that being pissed off, that anger can cause us to use drugs. If we're in recovery and we're putting expectations on people that are unfair, that could cause us to use drugs. Now, quiet as kept. If you ask Jimmy to give you a ride and he don't show up, I understand you being angry about it. But going forward, you would never ask Jimmy to give you another ride again, because you know it's an unfair expectation for you to trust him. You didn't know it before, so you can see a little bit of anger coming. But now you know. So that's how that becomes useful. Let's say you have a significant other, a man or a woman. Say I got a woman, and I walk in and she's getting busy with somebody, doing the thing, I'm gonna feel a type of way because I had an expectation that she wouldn't do nothing like that to me. But obviously that expectation was unfair because she's doing it right there in front of me. So I need to check myself out and say, wow, why did I have that expectation of this particular person? What made me have this expectation? Because she told me that? Well, here's what I know about people's words. Not necessarily true. How about you have an expectation for your family to forgive you quickly, or to not throw stuff up in your face that you did? You know what I mean? You've been ripping and roaring and running for 10 years. You get a little clean time under your belt, say 4 months. You don't want to hear shit. You don't want to hear them say, hey, remember when you did this, remember when you did that. You don't want them to hide their civil word no more. You want everything to be status quo now, although you've been ripping and running for 10 years. It's an unfair expectation for you to think that they're going to forget that after 4 months and that everything's back to status quo now. That's an unfair expectation. And because they don't do that, you start getting angry and you're like, you know what? You give me the name, I'm going to play the game. And you go out and you start using it again. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. You know what I mean? Give you a scenario. Let's say your hand became palsied and twisted. Now, you're a right-handed dude or female. You eat with your right hand. You wash with your right hand. You make love to your woman with your right hand. You even wipe your you-know-what with your right hand. So you're really good with your right hand. You're nice with it. All of a sudden your shit gets palsied up and you can't use it. You're all like this on some usual suspects type shit. You know what I'm talking about? So now you got to go left. Okay? Now you're teaching everybody, hey, I'm left now. When your homeboy comes up and says, what's up, homeboy? You're like, no, my shit is, got to go left with it. And so he learns to, give you a pound with the left hand. Your girlfriend used to be on the right of you all the time. Now she learned to get to the left of you. You know what I'm talking about? You learn to eat. Your mouth takes the food from the left hand. When you go to wipe your ass, you learn to wipe with your left hand. Have you ever tried to wipe with your left hand? That's a really hard thing to do. You got to have some level of expertise when you do that, or you might leave some residue. You know what I'm talking about? Not good. So, after 3-4 years, people understand that it's left. Now, let's say that there is a cure for the palsy, and you get the use of your right hand again, and you're like, oh shit, I got my right hand again. And right away you start eating with it, because you remember don't take a lot to start using that again. You understand, you remember you're right-brained anyway. So now you got to teach your wife, your significant other, hey, it's right again, baby. Look, she's used to left. She's like, hey, I kind of like that left thing. No, baby, I'm right. Come on over here. Come over here. You know what I'm saying? And your homeboys, you see your homeboy comes up, he goes with the left. He's like, what's up, why? You're like, no, guess what? Ha, my shit is back. I'm back with it. You know what I'm saying? So he said, oh, that's beautiful, boom, and he hits you up, boom. You're like, yeah, right? And you start eating with it, and now you're able to get it really good up in there. You know what I'm talking about when you wipe you know what? So here come your homeboy again. And he goes with the left again. You're like, no, bro, no, I told you, it's the right again now. See, the right is good. You're like, oh, okay, all right. So then he comes back a week later, and again, he's going with the left, because it's been 10 years that you taught him left. And you say, no, I'm right, homeboy. Now you're starting to get pissed. How many times I got to tell you this? How many times I got to tell you it's right, man? It's right. Come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's right. How many times do you got to tell him? That's the question. How many times? How many times did you tell him left? Everybody had to go left because you was going left. Everybody changed their life because you wasn't doing right. Now you want to do right, and you want them all to get on your side again and say, oh, he's right now. I trust that he's right. Maybe they don't trust that you're going to stay right. Maybe they think you're going to go left again. Something to think about. My name is Issa. Peace.